Yes, I'm live. If it's good to receive a notification that I'm live now, I'm using StreamYard because I figured out that the audio quality when I use StreamYard is much better than when I use the regular YouTube live. So that's why I'm using StreamYard right now. There's no guests coming in today. So it's just me doing an audio live today. And the advantage is from time to time I can switch the camera on and off. That's an ability I also have right now. While in the YouTube live, I can't switch the camera on and off. So that's not an advantage of StreamYard. But enough about StreamYard. Welcome to this live stream. Again, every time I wait 5 minutes before I begin. The same I'm doing today. I already spoke 1 minute, so I wait four more minutes for people to come in. Mandela, thank you for being here. I was just about to say to let me know when you're in the live chat. Mandela already showed it. Thank you very much. And I made a live stream with Forever Here. Forever Here is the name of a YouTube channel run by Nyron. He's the son of a musician, a British musician, Black British musician. He's also a Black British guy from Jamaican descent. And I had a live with him talk about various topics about not only how the world functions, but also how we as believers can counter it. So the live is about I believe 2.5 hours long. It's a bit long live, but it's worth to watch it. So when you have time, you can do that. I hope you're all up to date with my live streams also. The live streams are also an opportunity for you to connect with other subscribers if you want, to establish long-term relationships. I'm all for that. I'm all for community building, as long as they are believers also want to agree with Christ. All right. So, okay. 2.5 minutes more before I begin with the class. So, okay. And by the way, one quick warning for those in the United States: don't be overjoyed by the latest conviction of that guy in that George Floyd scenario, because it's just one predator that's been caught, and the hundreds that should have been convicted are still on the street. So this is just a make-up change. It's just like cosmetics that the United States is putting up to hide their crimes. So don't be too much distracted by it. Remain focused on Christ and building economic relevancy on the earth. That's what I wanted to warn you about. Sometimes when such allowances are made by the world, those allowances are made to get you back into trusting in the world or society instead of relying on Christ. So the topic of today is energetic wounds. I'm not going to spend too long on this topic because I kind of explained it before already, but I need to highlight it because it's very important to understand spiritual warfare and psychic violence and how we should deal with it as believers and how it affects our daily lives. We need to understand energetic wounds. We know about physical wounds. I don't need to explain that. It's obvious. All of us have been physically injured one way or the other. Maybe as a kid, you hit your knee, or maybe you were a veteran and you were shot during the battle, or maybe you were just the victim of some assault. So we all know what physical wounds are. I hope you don't have much experience with it. Hope you never experienced grievous physical wounds in your life, but we all have experienced physical wounds. What most of us are not aware of is that energetic wounds tend to last longer and have a far deeper impact on our lives. And that's what I'm going to talk about in this live. So do you understand what the topic of the day is? Let me know in the live chat. So I'll start your Jones understands it. Also, right? Let's understand it also. Energetic wounds. I'll wait for 15 seconds more before class begins. All right. By the way, pick up a pen and paper or open a screen in Word, something you can take notes and save for yourself. All right. Okay. Class has begun. So, physical wounds. We know what they are. Physical wounds are wounds or damage to your physical body. All right. And if the damage is too severe, you may lose a lot of blood, and blood is the physical stream of minerals and strength for your body. Okay, your blood circles around the physical strength of the body. So when you lose a lot of blood, you die. Straight up. We know that. There's no doubt about it. Now, your physical body is mechanic, like a machine. Okay, so the body is like a machine. Think about a car. If a car does not have enough gas or petrol in it, it shuts down. If your mobile phone is out of its battery strength, it falls off. The same with the human body. If the blood does not circulate sufficiently, the body shuts down and you physically die. We get it. But remember, you're not an animal. A lot of people perceive themselves as animal, and we need to stop doing that. We are spirit beings. We are vulnerable and fragile spirit beings, and our bodies are extensions of our being. So bodies are just the extension of our being, but it's not who we are. It's part of an extension of us. We are the spirit beings. Do you understand this part? Let me know in the live chat. That's why Christ said, those who worship God must worship him in spirit and in truth. So you must be a spirit being in order to worship God. You can only worship God in spirit. So you must be a spirit being in order to do that. God is spirit, and those that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. So if you were an animal, you wouldn't be able to worship God in spirit and truth. So we human beings are not animals. Okay? So, as spirit beings, we need to know what type of creature we are. Most of us have knowledge about our physical bodies, and that's good. You know where your stomach is, where your liver is, how your intestines work. You know how your heart works with your veins. You know how your brain may work, especially if you did medical science. So it's good to have knowledge of your body because you use your body every day. And your body is fragile. And besides that, due to the fall of men, due to Adam's fall, our bodies are mortal also. So you need to be extra cautious about your body because some harm to your body cannot be recovered during this lifetime unless there's divine intervention. So we naturally are cautious of our bodies to keep it safe from danger, especially because our bodies are mortal. That's obvious, right? That's why you wear a seatbelt in a car. That's why you watch the street before you cross the road. That's why you wear gloves when you're cleaning. That's why you stay away from the stove if you have nothing to do over there. So we are cautious of our bodies, which is good. But too many of us are not cautious of our energy fields. We're not cautious of our spirit health. Our physical health is subjected to our spirit health. But too many of us don't know anything about spiritual hygiene. Hygiene isn't just you washing your hands every time you go to the toilet or anytime you do something. Physical hygiene is about maintaining your body in a healthy and productive state, which also includes sleeping enough and taking sufficient rest. So all of that is part of your hygiene. It's keeping your body healthy and functional. But here's the thing. The body is your extension. The body is your extension. The body is not who you are. So you are the spirit being. So that means that your spiritual hygiene must go before your physical hygiene. If your spiritual hygiene is okay, then your physical hygiene will follow automatically. Too many people focus so much on their physical hygiene, but the spiritual hygiene is horrible. So what happens is because the focus is so on their physical hygiene, on the physical level, they are physically clean. They look good. They put on perfume, nice clothes, all of that. But spiritually, they are in danger. And eventually, the spiritual danger they're in will work out in their body in the form of diseases or accidents anyway. I'm not saying that physical hygiene is not important. It is for your well-functioning. Also, and when you're dealing with other people, but your physical hygiene should be an outworking of your spiritual hygiene. Because if spiritually you're unclean, then physically you'll be filthy sooner or later. Do you understand this? Let me know in the live chat. Mhm. And remember to take notes also for yourself. By participating while listening, you learn quicker. So, as spirit beings, we must be aware how we function as spirit beings, not just how our bodies work. And this is something that they do well in Eastern religions, religions from Asia. In religions from Asia, by the way, I don't support religion, absolutely not. But in religions from Asia, they at least give some knowledge of what we are as spirit beings. And this is knowledge that's neglected or forbidden in the West. People who grew up in the West, which is Europe or the Western Hemisphere, most of us were told that any type of spirit knowledge is occult and therefore demonic. But in the East, they realize that we are spirit beings, and as spirit beings, you need to know what type of spirit beings we are. You can't just only know things about the body, you should also know about the spirit. So that is the leverage pagans from Asia have over many believers who grew up in the West. Because many believers who grew up in the West, they have this obsession with knowledge about the physical world, not realizing that we are spirit beings and that everything we do is spiritually affected. So in the East, pagans over there are far more successful than believers in the West are. Why? Because the pagans in the East, and sometimes even pagans from Africa, they understand that you are spirit beings, and if you don't have spirit knowledge, you have a very big disadvantage in daily life. And by the way, your physical safety cannot be guaranteed by you physically. You can watch very well before you cross the road. You can always drink enough water. You can always do whatever you can physically for yourself and for others. But then one day you're on the road and suddenly out of the blue, this drunk driver comes by, hits you, and you're in a hospital or you die. So physically, you're quite limited. So you can't do everything on a physical level anyway. So as spirit beings, you should know what your spirit abilities are and what the spirit abilities for other people are, so that you know how to use the spirit world and your spirit essence on your behalf in daily life. And that's what pagans do. And that's why they succeed much better in life than many believers who only hold on to knowledge of the physical. So this stronghold that church put in you, that every knowledge of the spirit world is occult, get rid of that thinking. And let me tell you one more thing. The Bible does not contain all spirit knowledge. No, the Bible is a testimony of how the Heavenly Father rescued or saved mankind through Christ Jesus and how it's going to play out until Christ returns. That is what the Bible is for. And it contains history lessons also for us. But if you use the Bible as answer to all the issues in life, then you are out of your mind. Seriously. But you have those churches where people worship the Bible. They worship the Bible. And then they rely on a pagan priest, which you call their pastor, to give interpretation of what that book says. Now, the testimony documented in the book is powerful. Even pagans understand this. But pagans understand that the book is just a testimony. It's the being, God himself, that you need to walk with. And many people are not walking with God. They're just clinging onto the Bible. Now, clinging onto the Bible may give you relief, but it won't get you anywhere. It won't even keep you safe. You need to actually walk with the Heavenly Father in order to experience and operate in his power. Do you understand this? Let me know in the live chat. Mhm. So that is why you have new agers who are quite deluded in examining the fallenness of mankind. Many of them don't even believe that evil exists. They just think it's consciousness and needs to be refined. They have very weird ideas, but one thing New Agers do well, and I'm not praising New Age, I'm saying this is what New Age do well. They understand that as spirit beings, we have a spirit impact on the physical reality around us. And they realize that if your thinking is negative, that negativity is going to affect you and those around you in a ruinous way. So at least New Agers understand that part about the spirit world. And that's why they're so hyper positive about everything that happens. And that high positivity has good effects on them in daily life. Even though it's short-lived, it still has good effects. People that are so-called realistic, only looking at the physical reality, they tend to become depressed and sometimes even suicidal. Or if you don't become suicidal, they become bitter and cynical in life. So not having proper knowledge is quite dangerous. For example, if you eat certain berries, but you don't know when they are ripe, you may eat them and get sick. But if you have knowledge when they are ripe, you will eat them at the right time. So even on the physical level, having knowledge about the physical world is quite important. Now, when it comes to life itself, spirit knowledge goes before physical knowledge. There are people out there who don't have much physical knowledge of what goes on in daily life, but they have a lot of spirit knowledge, and that gives them an advantage. So, what are energetic wounds? An energetic wound is any time your energy field is cracked due to psychological or psychic trauma. Psychological or psychic trauma simply means that there is damage to your energy field caused either by a wrong way of thinking or by being psychologically violated by your community. So write that down as energetic wounds is damage to your energy field caused by wrong thinking or psychological abuse by the environment. Repeat it in the live chat. Also note it down for yourself. I'll wait for a minute till I see it in the live chat. Thank you very much. An energetic wound is damage done to your energy field, either by wrong thinking or by psychological abuse by your environment. Note this down and repeat it in the live chat also. Thank you very much. Damage to your energy. I'll repeat it. An energetic wound is damage to your energy field caused either by wrong thinking or by psychological trauma by your environment. Does everyone get it? Let me know in the live chat and repeat it if you get it. Wrong thinking or psychological abuse by the environment. Psychological abuse. Okay, let me repeat it because it's very important for you to know this and understand this. An energetic wound is damage to your energy fields caused by either wrong thinking or psychological abuse by the environment. That's it. And now I'm going to give examples so you understand how this works. Let's say you have a little baby and the baby doesn't receive much emotional affection from the parents. Now, when this child is and it is 5 or 6 years old, the child already has some symptoms of anxiety because they didn't receive much energetic warmth from the parents, not from the environment. When this individual is in, let's say, his or her teenage years, they have anxiety issues. Why? Because they are energetically wounded by neglect of the environment. And because they're energetically wounded, they also have wrong thinking. So they will likely attract bad people in their lives that will take advantage of them, or they may embrace radical religious thinking as a compensation for the lack of emotional warmth that they experience as a child. So a lot of people out there are energetically wounded from childhood on. And as adults, they're not even aware they're wounded. On the physical level, they brush their teeth, they wash their bodies, they put on fine clothes. Some women even put makeup, they look very sexy and all of that. And the men look quite handsome in three-piece suits. So on the physical level, they appear like jewels. But if you look beyond that, they are like an abandoned shipwreck. When you look beyond the physical suit that they're operating in. Another example, let's say you are scapegoated by relatives or by friends or someone. So people treat you in a less way because they didn't get what they want. So they just take advantage of you. They expect from you that you just give in to what they want without any regard for yourself. But if you expect anything from them, you are in trouble. So this is an emotional and psychic disbalance that happens. And when this happens over and over again at your expense, you're also wounded. And it's a literal damage done to your energy field. If you would be able to see your energy field, you would see scars in it, scratch in it. You'll see sometimes your energy field is completely deformed and grayish. So it's real wounds. And someone that's energetically wounded, when you walk past them, you can even feel that they're wounded if you're quite sensitive. So, when someone is energetically wounded, whether it happened in childhood or later in life by traumatic experiences, that individual develops, how I'd say, they develop leaks in their being. Just like your body has the skin, exterior, that keeps everything on the inside. The same way your energy field has an energy skin. That's the edge of your energy field, where your energy field ends. And by the way, the energy field is not personal space. There's no such thing as personal space. It's just your energy field. That's all it is. If your energy field is wounded, then that means there are cracks in your energy skin. And the pulp of energy of energetic emissions in your energy fields, that begins to leak out. So it's similar to you bleeding on a physical level. Do you understand this? Let me know in the live chat. By the way, I'm now drawing it very quickly for you on a piece of envelope. So I'm going to turn on the camera and show to you what I'm talking about. All right. So we have a visual for how it looks like. Okay, let me turn on the camera. So it should work now. Yes. That's why I use StreamYard, because I can turn the camera on and off. Does everyone see me? I want to be sure of that, because then you can see what I'm about to show you. Does everyone see me? Let me know. Okay, let me put this a little bit like this. Yes. What you see here, this is a healthy energy field. Okay, let me see if I can do this. I have to do this correctly. So, okay. This is a guy. You see him in his physical body, and this is the energy field around him. All right? In this case, you see the energy field, the energy skin is thick, and the energy pulp is here on the inside. That's how it should be. So what happens if the same guy is energetically wounded? Give me 30 seconds, then I'll show it in a quick drawing. Don't judge my drawing skills here because it's just a very quick drawing I'm making for you. It's not a detailed piece of art. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Do you see the difference over here? This guy over here, his energy field is like a sphere, like a ball or an apple. Okay. This guy's energy field is completely cracked down. And you can see here that his life source as a spirit being is leaking out of him. So he's bleeding. He's energetically bleeding. And you can see also physically, he's exhausted. The energy skin is still there, but it's completely bursted open. Do you see this difference? Let me know in the live chat. All right. So, if this is your situation, you are in big trouble. Okay? Because if this is your situation, this is how it works. If this is your situation, that leaking out, demons see it. And demons experience it. And demons now, okay, let me make another quick drawing so I can show that to you. Thank God I'm using StreamYard right now and not YouTube Live. Okay, 20 seconds, hold on. Okay. If this is your situation, demons here will notice you're leaking out, and because demons are parasites, they now can feed off your life source very easily. So you're bleeding, and they're actually eating up the energy that's leaking out of you. Okay? That's what demons do. So before you know it, the demons haven't hold on your mind directly because they haven't hold on your energy fields. And besides demons exploiting you, if you are a scapegoat, then this is what's going on. Again, this is not a piece of art I'm doing over here, but here's how it goes. Okay, let me see if I can hold this. Okay, so if you're a scapegoat, this was going on. If other people around here with pollution in their own energy fields, and because they meditate negative about you, they're meditating and sending their waste to you. Now, if people do that to you and you have a strong, healthy energy field like here, the tension will just come over here. It will just crash on your energy skin and you would feel some shocks. But if you have a wounded energy field and you're bleeding energetically and people scapegoat you, all their pollution they meditate on you is literally injected in your energy field. So their anxieties, their fear, their fright, their pollution is just injected in your energy field. So suddenly you can feel very heavy out of the blue. And what happens? All this weight of all these people is going to weigh down on your physical body, and that will cause either direct brain disorders that you'll just lose your mind, or it can cause blood clots, it can cause cancer, it can cause all types of dysfunction in your body. It can even lead to physical sickness and you dying of tumors and all of that. And apart from that, because there's so much weight on you, everywhere you go, people experience these pollutions injected in you as if it's you. Okay, so people may think that you have a negative climate around you, but it's just the negative climate that's forced on you by the environment. So you're violated by the community. The community has ease, and you're the one carrying all their waste. And at the same time, their waste is filled in your energy fields and your life source is leaking out. So in this situation, you can die at any time. And in this situation, you may even attract bad people that are attracted to all that waste, and they will do you more dirty. So this is just a time bomb going off. This community putting a bomb around you that's about to go off anytime. So let me show it you one more time. Do you understand these illustrations? Let me know in the live chat now. Let me know, do you understand these illustrations? Diode understands it. Does the rest understand it also? Okay. So, how do you recover as your energetic wounds? You recover energetic wounds, first of all, by admitting that that's what goes on. Okay? You admit it's something spiritual or on an energetic level that works out in physical. If you go look for physical solutions for something that's a spirit root, you are exhausting yourself and deceiving yourself. And you may even cause more harm to your body when you look for body solutions for something that's a spirit origin. So what do? You admit that this goes on. You admit you are a vulnerable, fragile spirit being. You admit it also. And because you admit the reality that you're a vulnerable and fragile spirit being, you realize, I need help. And once you realize this, you realize that, oh, I need help, so I need spirit help. But look at spirit help. Oh, yeah, those fortune tellers out there and those pagan people. But you know what? I see all types of side effects. Hey, hold on a minute. The Heavenly Father, He designed me as a spirit being. So He's the manufacturer of human species. So should He not be able to recover me? So then you change, you reform your mind, you renew your mind by agreeing with how Christ sees you. And by doing that, you get more ease in your mind, which leads to your energy field recovering. And this thing, when you agree with Christ, the power from God's throne flows through you directly. And when the power flows to you directly in your energy field, it begins to purge out all the pollution. And little by little, your energy field is recovered to how it used to be. This is holiness, being whole on the spirit as well as on a physical level. That's a whole life, a life without defects and darkness. That's holiness right over there. That's a result of you agreeing with Christ. Righteousness is you agreeing with Christ or renewing your mind, and holiness is the outwork or the fruit of it. So you don't do holiness. Holiness is something that works out in you. Do you understand this? And I'm showing the illustration one more time. If you just came in, please replay that live later on so you can catch the whole lesson. Let me show it to you one more time. Take notes, saints. So, energetic wounds and energetic bleeding is far more dangerous than physical bleeding. Now, physical bleeding, you should prevent it, and your body has mechanisms to make the blood cold. So when you have a cut, the blood recovers. But if you have too much bleeding, it's dangerous. So you should prevent that. Of course we do. But energetic bleeding and energetic wounds are far more dangerous. Because look, you can brush your teeth, wash your clothes, put makeup on as a woman. As a woman, you can do all that physically and wear very fancy and sexually attractive clothes. But if you If your energy field, well, this is a masculine energy field. Feminine energy fields are a bit more softer and oval shaped. But if you have this going on, lady, your energetic wounds and you're bleeding, that will attract demons. We're going to feed off of what's leaking out of you energetically, and that will exhaust you more. And once demons are exhausting you, before you know it, predators will feel comfortable being around you. So actually, you're not safe at all. You're just maintaining your physical body, but you're not safe at all. So, knowing what energy fields are, we all have them because we're all spirit beings. Knowing and how to maintain spiritual hygiene, that's how we prevent a lot of bad stuff in life. Because too often, we lack spiritual hygiene, but we have so much physical hygiene. And because we have so much physical hygiene, we think we're all fine, but we don't have spiritual hygiene. So what happens? You get polluted and polluted day by day. And before you know it, the pollution is so heavy that you end up in a crash physically and you die or you cause harm to others indirectly. Someone can be driving a car, but they're overwhelmed with psychic violence. Before you know it, they lose the control over the steering wheel and end up killing someone in a car crash. The individual was killed in a car crash. They're just collateral damage of harm that was being done to that guy behind the steering wheel. But that guy behind the steering wheel, he lacks spiritual hygiene. Because of that, things kept on burdening him till the point he crashed and other people got hurt by it also. So spiritual hygiene is quite important. Now, Christ said that he is the bread of heaven and that he is he brings forth living water. So the thing is, Christ is symbolized as water. Water cleanses you. Water even feeds you. Okay? When you drink water, it cleanses your body. When you drink water, you are refreshed. That's what Christ is to us. We must be in line with Christ so his freshness flows through us and keeps our energy fields fresh as well as our bodies. Healing, you can't inject healing in your body. You can't purchase healing at the grocery store. Healing or let's say health is something that works out from the inside out. And if your inside is in line with Christ, then power from God's throne flows through your energy field, and that keeps you healthy. If you only focus on the physical function of the body, then you may be deceived very easily. Someone's physical body can be operating in a very functional way, but energetically, they're about to die soon. And this is what you need to understand. A little baby can't do anything. A little child either. But from the moment you're a teenager and you're becoming older, as a spirit being, you have abilities. And from the point you're a teenager and older, it works like this. If people or the group wants to harm you physically, they must harm you energetically first. If you have a teenager or an adult who's quite positively minded and they keep on decreeing and insisting on good outcomes in their lives, it will be very hard, not impossible, very hard to physically harm such an individual. But if someone is always expecting the worst, they expect to die at any time, they expect that every day can be the last day, now it's very easy to wound or even kill such an individual. It goes like this. Late teens and adults, if you want to exploit them, you must wound them energetically first before you exploit them physically and socially. You must violate someone energetically before you can actually succeed physically. Because if you come with a physical violation while someone is not energetically violated, it will likely not work and it will likely backfire very quickly. That's why predators tend to psychologically drain you. They first love bomb you, and once you're attached to the love bombing, they suddenly attack you to cause spirit wounds, cause energetic wounds in you. Because once you have energetic wounds and you're energetically bleeding, it'll be very easy for them to make their physical move and exploit you completely. That's why they have to violate you spiritually first before you do it physically. A lot of people out there, have been on hit lists for years, some even decades. But till this day, nobody can pick up a gun and shoot them, or nobody can stab them, or nobody can poison them. Why not? Because they are not energetically violated. You have to be energetically violated first before you can be physically or financially violated. So your physical and financial hardships have to be done to you on an energetic level first. So do you understand this part? Because it's very important. For little children and babies, it's different because they only have their parents and the community that can work for them. But once you're in your mid-teens and later, now you have abilities and now you are able to have impact on yourself and others. A baby or a little child can do that. But once you have that ability to have an impact on yourself and others, that's responsibility. You're able to respond and able to look for options, and you should use it for the best. Do you understand what responsibility is and understand what I just explained about being energetically violated before it can happen physically? Let me know in the live chat, please. That is why in mainstream media, they always suggest bad outcomes to you. If you keep telling the masses over and over again that anytime they can die, if you keep repeating someone, today may be your last day, tomorrow is not promised. If you keep saying these things to someone, what's going to happen? You keep repeating it. So after a while, mentally, they're going to think there must be some truth to it because it's repeated by everyone, even adults. So once someone agrees that they can die anytime, they've already wounded their own energy fields. They've caused an energetic wound to themselves and are not even aware of it. Or anytime, or if you grew up with parents that were scapegoating you and were resentful towards you, you may grow up thinking that when people are upset with you, it's your fault. So you think that others are entitled to exploit you. Very weird. But some people think others have a right to exploit them because they ain't worth anything. You have people who think that way because they were wounded that way by their parents and their environment. If you think that way, you're already wounded, and you're actually wounding yourself every day and not even aware of it. And that's why responsibility is important. Responsibility simply means you reflect on the situation, realize, okay, what's going on, what's wrong, what's my part, what can I do about it? Responsibility is important for your well-being. People that don't take responsibility have no well-being. Why not? Because you need to participate in life to have benefits of life. You need to participate in safety to be safe. If you don't participate in safety, you can't be safe. If you don't participate in life, you can't have benefits in life. That's very simple. A little child or a baby, that's different. But once you're a teenager and older, you have to participate. Other people can help you out on the outside. But from the inside, that's not something anyone can do. That's something only you can do later on by giving up the dysfunction. You need to forfeit the dysfunction you grew up in, that you're accustomed to, so that you can receive better. That's only something you can do. Others can hinder bad stuff from happening to you through prayers, decrees, and declarations. From the inside, that bad quality can only disappear when you agree with Christ. Do you understand this? For example, in the Roman languages, you would say, I have that many years. So in Spanish, I would say, yo tengo 29 años. Or in Portuguese, eu tenho 29 años. I have 29 years. In English, you would say, I'm 29 years old. Old means outdated, irrelevant. If something is old, it means it's outdated now. It's not useful, it's not relevant anymore. So in the English language, as well as in Dutch you also say, in Dutch you would say, ik ben 29 jaar oud. Of ik ben 29. So in many Germanic languages, you actually are cursing yourself when you mention your age. Because you keep suggesting to your own mind that you're outdated. What happens when you keep suggesting yourself that you're outdated? You're going to feel old. You're going to feel outdated. And once you feel outdated, you are more likely to become depressed. You're more likely to develop suicidal tendencies. You're more likely to develop physical diseases. And you're more likely to be violated by others. That's why you can have Hispanic people that live in countries that are totally dysfunctional, okay? But still, as a community, they have strong bonds and they remain healthy even in beyond in what we say when they have high age. You get it? And then you have English-speaking people from North America or Europe. They are 50 and they look like they're already falling apart. And you think, what is this? They grew up in the United Kingdom or they grew up in the United States. They grew up in an area where there was abundance of food, where they didn't face much childhood trauma and all of that. So how come these people who are from a beneficial background, how can they fall apart like that in their own, not even 50? It's because of the language they're using. Listen, the English language, if you talk in a constructive way, you'll actually trigger good outcomes in yourself. But in the common English language, both in Britain and elsewhere, it contains a lot of dead wishes in it. I am so many years old. Why do you call yourself outdated? Or you would have people saying, that joke killed me. It's just an expression. It doesn't literally mean that the joke actually killed you, but suggest that something as a joke can harm you. So you're actually programming your body to die. Listen, words itself are sound constructs. For example, gyro was an ancient Greek cuss word that meant swine or pig. Now, gyro today in Dutch simply means an electronic bank account. So if you say gyro in Dutch, you just mean electronic bank account. Saying gyro does not affect you negatively. But if you are from ancient Greece, or if you were in ancient Greece and you lived through that time, someone would call you gyro all the time, and you know that they actually are wishing you harm, eventually them use that word against you will cause you harm. It's not the word itself, it's not the sounds, but the intention behind it. So it's not the words itself. Words as shit, fuck, cunt, whore, asshole, and all those words itself are just words from Germanic origin. Or some of them are from Latin or Babylonian origin. They themselves have no power in them to do any harm. But if you believe that when someone uses certain words, they devalue you, if someone uses the word shit, for example, and you are conditioned to think if someone uses the word shit, they don't value you, then you feel devalued when someone uses the word shit. They're not devaluing you, you're just expressing some anger, but you think they're devaluing you. So now when you heard the word shit, you're triggered into feeling hurt. So how you relate to those words determine how much effect they have on you. You get it? So it's not the words themselves that contain any strength, it's your association. And that's why every language has cuss words you're not allowed to use. Every language invents words that are forbidden so that they can use those words to control you. That's the only reason cuss words or swear words are made up, because there is no such thing as a cuss word or swear word. It doesn't actually exist. It's something we made up so we can have a mental grip on other people. Do you understand this? I'll wait. And here's the thing. Because we believe that words have power instead of the intention behind words, because it's the intention behind words that's power, not the words itself. If someone would say gyro to you out of the blue, you would think, are you drunk? It wouldn't affect you. But if someone say cunt, slut, whore, you would think, what? Because you're trained to be shocked by such words. Once you remove the training and people so-called cuss you out, It doesn't have an effect on you anymore. Now, they still have bitterness they're emitting, but because you're not invested in the so-called power of those words can't affect you. So someone can be shouting bad words at you all day long, and those things just come into your energy field and it just crashes. But if you are trained by your parents to always be respectful, always to give validation to others, then likely if you don't validate you, you get all types of wounds in your energy field. So how you are raised determines how long you will live and the quality of the life you will have. And many of you were set up by your environment to fail in life because you were raised the wrong way. And that's why many of you end up going from one false teacher to the other, being confused because you've been confused by the people that raised you. Not just your parents, but the whole community. Every language has words, but some languages are designed in such a way that when you use that language, you're actually limiting yourself. So every language you speak, whether it's English or Spanish or whatever, look at the origin. Because the language affects how your brain will perceive things. So that is why certain people develop an English dialect instead of using the standard British English. Because some communities realize, this English language that they're speaking here, it has some issues with it. So let's develop our dialect, that we speak things the same English, but a bit different. That's why you have so many dialects of English all over the place. All of us were tricked by the world. All of us were set up by the world. But there's a thing. We know better now. And we can do better because we know better. That's the great advantage of it. So, energetic wounds. That's what the world wants you to be energetically wounded. And listen, if you have a physical wound and it doesn't heal properly, it will begin to develop moisture and begin to stink and rot. I don't know the exact English word for it now. I maybe used the wrong word. So do you understand what I mean? If you have a wound and it doesn't heal properly, it may remain open, begin to stink and give moisture. Do you understand what I mean with that? Maybe if you know the word, then let me know in the live chat. Please. Maybe Americans use a different word for it than British people or than Australians. That's why. Oh, gangrene, yes. If a physical wound is not dealt with, if a physical wound is not cleansed and it doesn't close properly, it will develop gangrene. A similar thing happens in the spirit world. It will you will get energetic infection, okay? And once you have energetic infection in your energy field, that is a mark of victimization or a mark of victimhood. I spoke about it in the past already. So if you've been violated by multiple people in your childhood, or if you were neglected by multiple people, you'll likely develop energetic gangrene. Okay? And by developing this, that energetic gangrene is literally like a thick, foaming slime that's stuck in your energy field. It becomes a mark. And people can sense this mark, and predators will feel comfortable around you. And that's why you have a lot of people attracting bad people in their lives all the time. That's why you have women attracting rapists all the time, everywhere they go. That's why you have people attracting scam artists everywhere, because they have energetic gangrene. And that energetic gangrene attracts bad people, bad human beings. And of course, demons can notice the gangrene and they say, hey, this individual is very easy. Dump on him, dump on her. That's what demons do. and sometimes even leads to demonic possession. So, cleansing energetic wounds is very important, and we do this by renewing our mind and be focused on Christ. So that's why I told you often, don't be impressed by the world. Don't be impressed by evil. Because the moment you're impressed by them, they'll already have a grip on you mentally. And then have a grip on you mentally, it's going to mess up your energy field altogether. Now, killing energy is when a lot of people escalate against you because they didn't succeed in shutting you down. When folks demand to shut you down to get an narcissistic supply and it doesn't work, they can escalate. That's killing energy. They are ready to go off at anyone. That's a different thing. So if you experienced that you kept encountering bad people over and over again or bad situations, it's likely that you have energetic gangrene in your energy fields. Now you know how to get rid of it. And don't get this mistaken. Those people that complied with the bad situations, they are responsible because they actually felt comfortable unloading on you because of that gangrene you had. Even if they're not aware it's an energetic gangrene, they are aware of it. So, your spiritual hygiene is very important. That's why it's important to pray and fast every day. And that's why I suggest you every morning, at least a half hour. Be amazed by how great the Heavenly Father is, and be amazed with the New Testament, with how much abundance there is for you. Fast and pray at least for an half hour every morning. It will do miracles for you. And when you have relatives in your care, send peace out of them. Stop worrying, oh crap, what if something bad happens to my father? What if something bad happens to my child? Or what if something bad happens to him? Oh, stop. Look, worrying does not help anyone, not you nor the other. I'm not telling you to be cold-hearted and just avoid all the challenges in life. No. If you have a grandfather, or you have a mother, or you have a son or a daughter, or anyone close to you, and you're concerned about the situation, send peace out of them. Send peace on their behalf to crush whatever darkness goes around there. Keep doing it. Christ said, my peace I leave unto you. In the world you shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I've overcome the world. So God has given you his peace inside of you. So you send his peace on behalf of other people, and his peace will do the job. You don't have to figure out what to do. Send peace ahead of you. You will never be worried about anyone else anymore, but you will be concerned in a loving way. We should be concerned in a loving way with other people, not worried about them, because worrying won't benefit anyone, not even ourselves. The world doesn't have this peace that we can set ahead of us. So that's why they're stuck either in worrying or in narcissistically avoiding. Now we can actually love empathically because we have the peace we can set on behalf of other people. So use your imagination and your visualization also to decree and declare good outcomes on yourself. Unlearn the cabal. Unlearn the Baphomet programming of the world that keeps you sexually ashamed and sexually defective. So, this live stream has been less than an hour. I'm going to show this one more time. Please replay the live stream, take notes, and practice this in your daily life. Well, that's it for now. Keep on agreeing with Christ, and I'll see you in next class. Be at peace.